It's time. It's actually been time for a while now, but I haven't had an opportunity to film this video, and I wanted to make sure I, get my words right for this, because this is kind of a big step for me, and I'll explain what's going to happen in a minute, but I should also mention that this video is going to also double as sort of my end of the year / beginning of the year channel update video, so we'll get to that probably toward the end, or maybe as we go along. But what is it time for, you might ask? Well, here's the thing, guys. I've been doing this for a very long time. Longer than I ever thought I would be. Probably longer than I should have been doing this. But I've been making videos going back even older than this YouTube channel. I started YouTube in, I think, 2014, and I've been making videos probably since 2009, 2010, something like that, about 10 years. So it's been quite a while since I've been doing this. I've been hopping from video platform to video platform, trying to find myself some sort of stability, and fortunately for all the problems, YouTube has worked out the best. But a while back, there came a time when I was going to want to stop talking about and reviewing cartoons and maybe start making them. And that is why we're here today. However, I'm going to be needing a lot of help with this, and that's a reason why I'm making this video, to sort of put the word out there, maybe get the help of some very talented people. I have a feeling, I review cartoons, I have a lot of artists and independent animators watching this, so maybe we can get together and work on something. So, I'm going to talk a little bit about what this project is, and then I'm going to go into what I'm going to be looking for now and what I'll be needing in the future. So for a long time I've been developing an idea, I've been creating characters and scenarios and stuff, and I spent the better part of a year writing a pilot script. And rather than have it sit on my hard drive for all eternity, I would rather get it produced. I would rather create it. I would rather bring it to life and share it with a lot of people, because it's something that I worked very hard on, and it's something that I'm very proud of. So, I'm going to talk a little bit about what it is. I'm not going to go into too much detail for now, but I'm just going to sort of give you the basics. So the working title I have for this is Playthings, and the basic premise of the show is it's about a bunch of living toys that live in the back of a toy shop. Now, some of you are probably already saying, Rob, isn't that just Toy Story? And yeah, kinda. The Toy Story movies are some of my favorites, so I'd be lying if there wasn't some influence behind it. But, that idea is not really new. It's been around for a very long time. Disney does not have full authority over all living toy-related media, so it's just an idea I had. And the reason why I'm doing it is because I'm basically combining two things I really love: animation and toy collecting. And again, I'm just giving you the baseline premise for this. There is a lot more to this that I'm not prepared to reveal just yet. And let me just assure you that if this somehow does become a thing, it's definitely not going to be Toy Story. I have big plans for this series. So as I said, I have a pilot script that I worked very hard on, and I'd like to get it produced. So the first thing I'm going to be needing is an artist, specifically a character designer. I'm going to need someone to help me design the characters. And the good news is I actually have a couple of them designed already. About 2 years ago, I actually commissioned an artist to draw me up some examples for this based on my descriptions and, some notes and sketches that I did. And they gave me some really good designs, and so we have, at least 6 of the characters pretty much designed already, although they do need some improvements. I think a couple of them do need to be simplified a little bit for the sake of the animation. And the reason why I had them done was because I wanted examples to use in like a pitch document or a pitch presentation should I have the opportunity to do so, but I doubt that is going to happen anytime soon, so I'm going to have to take matters into my own hands, which is why I'm doing this. So I do need a very good, talented character designer who can work with a variety of different types of characters, because, again, the premise is living toys, so some of the characters are human, some are human-like, a couple of them are anthros, one's a robot, so we need somebody that can do some really good work with stuff like that. I will, however, be needing about 5 more characters designed that I don't have any examples to show right now. So we'll have to work on that. But if you're an artist, if you're a character designer, someone that specializes in character design, I want to hear from you, because I got some work for you. I have my DMs open on Twitter. You can contact me through my Facebook page. You can contact me directly through the email associated with this channel. As far as the look for the show goes, I'm kind of favoring a lot of the sort of westernized, very anime-inspired character design that we've been seeing in a lot of shows over the years. Stuff like Voltron Legendary Defender or Avatar The Last Airbender, you know, similar shows like that. But I'm also willing to look at maybe some other styles for this. So again, just send me your portfolio, send me a link to, you know, your website or your DeviantArt page or whatever, and show me what you can do. And give me your rates too, because this is going to be a paid gig. So that's very important. If anybody does work for me, I want them at least get a commission, you know. So be sure to get a hold of me, whatever your style is, and I'll be sure to log everything that comes to me. So even if I get someone's work that I don't feel fits for this project, let me just say that if this does go over pretty well, this won't be the only project. So there's a good chance I'll be needing people in the future for other, perhaps bigger things, but let's not get ahead of ourselves here. So get in contact with me in some way and we'll talk about this. I probably won't get back to you right away. I'm not sure when I'll get back to anyone that contacts me. I think I want to give this a little bit of time to get out there and circulate, and, you know, allow stuff to come in and, you know, see what's available to me right now. Now, in addition to an artist, I think I'd be willing to talk to maybe someone with some script writing experience. Now, the pilot I wrote, this is my first script ever. Well, it's not my first script, because I write scripts for, you know, reviews and stuff. But this is my first, like, actual, like, proper script. Like, I had to format it properly and make sure I convey everything that that needed to be conveyed properly. And again, like I said, I'm very proud of it. But I've only showed this to one other person who really liked it, which is a good thing. But I would love to hear from maybe someone that does script writing, perhaps professionally, or maybe has done some stuff for TV or even, you know, other internet stuff. I'd be, you know, mostly for feedback, but also I'm not opposed to maybe having someone look at the script and punch it up a little bit. And while I am proud of my writing, let me put it to you this way: you're your own worst critic. So I look at my stuff and I'm like, yeah, this is great. I really like this, but are other people going to also like this? Is this too boring? Is this not funny enough? Stuff like that, you know. Someone that can, you know, like I said, do some punch-up or something like that. Give me feedback, or maybe wants to co-write or something like that. So if anybody out there also does any script writing, I'd love to hear from you as well. Now here's what I'm hoping is going to be my plan for this project. So first things first, I need characters designed. So when I get some good character designs, when I get everything finalized, and you know, potentially have my script look at and, you know, see if there's anything that needs to be improved and work on that for a bit. Once all of that is ready, I'm going to be doing the storyboards myself. And I'm not a great artist, which is why I'm looking for an artist right now. I can draw okay, I can sketch ideas fine, but I can do storyboards. I took a class in storyboarding when I was in college, and I really enjoyed it, and I did a really good job at it, so I think I can do that. And fortunately, and this is not knocking on anybody that does storyboards, you don't have to be a perfect artist to do it. You just pretty much have to work with the characters you're given, and then set up a scene, and, you know, make sure visually it looks really good. And I think I can do that very well, and I did a really good job when I took my storyboarding class. So I'm going to be handling the storyboards myself. I am probably going to have to invest in a scanner because, well, when it comes to drawing, I've never been comfortable using a tablet. Like, I have a Surface tablet, and I bought the Surface tablet specifically to learn how to draw because it came with a pen. But I don't know what it is. Like, I'm never comfortable drawing, you know, with the electronic devices. I still use the tablet for other things. It's what I read my review scripts off of, and, you know, I use it for traveling and everything. But I just don't know. I've never been able to get used to it. So if I can't do that, then I'm going to have to deal with, you know, analog paper and pencil, which is what I'm most comfortable using. So I'll probably have to get a scanner and start scanning in some sketches and stuff like that. After that, once the storyboards are complete, I'm going to, of course, need some voice actors. This is far into the future, by the way. If anything I've said anybody can do, you know, feel free to contact me, but this is way later in the game. So I'm going to be needing some voice actors. I would like to maybe do 1 or 2 voices myself, although I don't really know if I could with these characters. I've been wanting to dabble into voice acting. I just don't know what I'd be good at when it came to voice acting. Like, I can do it fine. I just don't know, like, where my voice would fit in, like what type of character I'd be voicing. So we'll deal with that another time. I will be needing some voice actors, male and female. Of course, there's a variety of different characters. Gonna need some high voices, low voices, things like that. I'll probably also be needing music / a sound person. There is at least one scene in this pilot that's going to require some specific type of music, so I'll definitely be needing a sound person for that. And again, way later on. And then after that, I'll be needing an animator, a very good animator. Now, as far as this goes, the way I have the script written right now, there's not a whole lot of big, crazy stuff happening. There is one fight scene in it, and it's towards the beginning, but there's a lot of specific things I will be needing, like some specific lighting for certain scenes and things like that. So as of right now, I don't think this will be a particularly difficult thing to animate. So if you're an animator, if you're an artist and an animator, that's great. You know, again, get in contact with me. And once the storyboards are complete, I do want to forward this off, or animatics rather, because then by then the voice acting and the music and sound possibly would be added in. But I will be needing an animator, or hopefully a team of animators, to get this put together. Now again, this is not a free gig. This is gonna be paid. I assure you, if anybody does work for me, I want to see them compensated. Which brings me to the next part of the video. Now let me put people's minds at ease and say I'm not going to be e-begging for money. The way this is going to be funded is through me. I'm going to fund this myself. And you're probably asking, how am I going to do that? Well, you see, about 2 years ago I lost my job, and in one of my previous vlogs I needed some help because I was having trouble finding a new job. Since then, I have found a job. It is a full-time job, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But since when I was unemployed, I had a lot of people, you know, try to shoot me some cash and, you know, donate to my Patreon and help me out a little bit. And since then, since I have, you know, a full-time job and I have an income, a lot of the money that I've been getting through Patreon, and as well as through my channel, through ad revenue and stuff like that, it's been piling up, and it's been piling up quite a bit. So the way I'm going to be paying for this is through this channel and through my Patreon. Now, I don't want to feel like I'm betraying my patrons, because I'm sure a lot of them are there to, you know, fund the show, fund the reviews, and potentially my other channels and stuff like that. So here's how this is going to work. pretty much all the money that I receive through Patreon and through my ad revenue and potentially a couple other sources is going to go towards this project. I have a lot of it already, but again, it's probably not going to be nearly enough, so I'm going to have to maybe do this a little by little, slowly. So if you'd like to support this project, the best way to do it is to support me. So, of course, you know, subscribe to the channel, check out the videos, rewatch the videos, keep things going around here, keep the revenue generating. I do have two other channels. I have a toy channel and a gameplay channel. Links are in the description, so maybe if I can get at least one of those monetized, that'll help out a lot as well. And, of course, there is my Patreon. Now, I've changed up my Patreon quite a bit since I last talked about it. Let me explain how things are right now. So, for $1, you get access to everything. There's a lot of Patreon exclusive videos on there, a lot of old stuff. I actually recently found some older videos and I'm probably going to put up on Patreon at some point. Then you have the $10 tier, which will give you a credit at the end of a cartoon clip show. And then there's the big tier. For a $50 Patreon pledge, you get to choose what I review for Cartoon Clip Show. And I had a couple of people donate to that last year, and it went over pretty well. I did some videos, and whenever I get, you know, a big request like that, I try to put a little bit of extra into it because, you know, people are paying me. And you only have to stay on that tier for 1 month. And after that, you can quit, you can lower it, you can do whatever you want. In addition to that, I also set up some Patreon goals. Now, the goals are not dependent on you know, any type of monetary amount. They're dependent on number of patrons. So if we get a bunch of people donating $1, then, you know, we'll reach each individual goals. And these are things that I could review for Cartoon Clip Show. And I've set it up so that they're mostly things that I've had on, you know, some stuff that's been on my radar for a while. A lot of longer series because they tend to put the most strain on me. There's also a couple more recent shows on there that had ended not too long ago, and I think that'll help out, you know, because people really like those. Including, oh dear. Did I actually put that as a goal? I must have been mistaken. Well, it's currently the highest goal, so maybe I'll get out of that one. Oh God, what have I done? And I think that's mostly where the funding is going to come for this. There are some other things you can do to help out. You can just send me a one-time payment through PayPal. I have a link in the description for that. I have an eBay store for stuff from the toy channel, and it's, you know, mostly stuff I'm trying to get rid of. I have like anime figures and Funko Pops and mystery toy items and a couple of amiibos on there and stuff like that. If you can, you know, check that out, maybe it's something you want to buy. Money from that will go towards this as well. But if you can't donate, that's perfectly fine. What I would like for people to do, though, is to share this video around, retweet it, send it to artists and animators you might know, and, you know, help spread the word, because this is kind of a small channel, and I doubt my reach is going to go very far with a video like this, so feel free to forward this to anyone you might know that you think would be very helpful to me. You know, someone who, a really good artist, really good animator, anybody that does voice acting, of course. So stuff like anything I've already asked for, you know, somebody out there probably knows somebody who knows somebody, so be sure to, you know, send this video around and let it do its rounds for a while, and, you know, like get the word out there. So now there's probably a couple of questions people are going to want to know, and one of them is probably, Rob, why don't you just do Kickstarter or GoFundMe or something like that? And, well, I thought about it, but I decided not to for a couple of reasons. One is because, well, as I said, this channel does not have a lot of reach. YouTube doesn't really feel like this channel should be growing. I have not been chosen by the almighty algorithm to get a lot of subscribers and views, so that's unfortunate. So I doubt that, you know, me starting a Kickstarter with this small, you know, circle of fans that I have, I'd be able to reach any type of realistic monetary goal, so I feel like that's out. The big reason why I'm not doing crowdfunding is because, well, in recent years, crowdfunding has been kind of, how shall I put this? It's been kind of hit or miss, I guess, though mostly miss. And there's a lot of stigma with crowdfunding, and it's usually, you know, whenever something gets hyped up and it gets crowdfunded and it comes out, usually, you know, the final project is not really, the final product, rather, is not really what the backers wanted. And yeah, I've seen it happen a lot. You know, there's a lot of video games that get crowdfunded. Mighty Number 9, anybody? A lot of, you know, animation stuff also gets crowdfunded and usually goes nowhere. And, you know, I don't want to feel like I'm going to be cheating anybody out of this, because I'm sure there's been a lot of people that have donated to Kickstarters and things like that and felt like they didn't really get their money's worth. And believe me, I've been there. I've been there many times. I have supported a lot of Kickstarters, mostly animation stuff, and I've not really seen much come of it. You know, I donated to the SWAT Kats revival, and that's been silent for who knows how long. And sure, I got some really cool stuff out of it, but, you know, I wanted the show to come out, and we've not seen that. Then there's the whole Wakfu English dub debacle that, you know, people weren't too pleased with how the English dub turned out. There's Being Puppy Cat, which took its sweet time coming out. There's also Long Gone Gulch, which I did back, and I opened up the perks on this channel as well, and they keep saying it's coming, but I'm not seeing much from them. I know, again, I know animation takes a long time, and believe me, I'm probably going to learn that the hard way. But, you know, a lot of people were very upset by that, and I don't want to upset people with this. That's why I'm sticking strictly to my Patreon and my ad revenue from YouTube, because if you support me on Patreon, you're not just supporting this, you're supporting me as well. And that's why, like, the goals are very important. So I feel like you can donate to my Patreon and you'll get your money's worth with, you know, content and reviews and things like that. And I feel like that's very fair. You know, you're paying for my content, not necessarily a project that may or may not happen. And let's be completely honest for a second. There's a good chance that this project will not get off the ground at all. I don't want to make promises I can't keep. So if you're going to donate to me, I want to at least feel like you're getting your money's worth through other things. And should this not come about, then, you know, oh well. At least you got some funny videos out of it. Now, the other question a lot of people are probably asking is, Rob, aren't you part of the Frederator Network? Can't you contact them for help? I have actually sent Frederator a pitch before. It was not for this, it was for something else. And they immediately rejected it and they hated it. And again, it wasn't as good of an idea as this one, I'll admit. But I don't really feel like Frederator's style is going to work with what I have in mind. And they're probably not going to be really into this project. So I really doubt that they'd be able to help me, unless, you know, some higher up from Frederator is watching this and wants to get in touch with me. You know, feel free to do so. But given, you know, look at projects that Frederator has done, you know, stuff like Adventure Time, which, you know, I love a lot of their stuff that they make, but I don't feel like my style fits their style, you know. And they've done other stuff before. They did like Netflix Castlevania series, which was amazing. But I don't really feel... I feel like that's not mainly what they do. They mainly do stuff like Adventure Time and Chalk Zone and, you know, other wacky, crazy cartoon stuff. And that's not really my style. So I don't think that they would really go for this idea anyway. So, sadly, I don't think Frederator is going to be an option. Again, unless someone from Frederator is watching this and wants to reach out to me, then we can talk. But for now... we're sticking to independently produced. So I think that pretty much covers everything. Now for the channel update portion of the video. So, this is a pretty big project that I've decided to take on. And because of that, it's going to take up a lot of time. And as a result, there's gonna probably be a lot less content on this channel this year, especially if this actually, you know, gets going and we actually, it looks like we're actually gonna do something with this idea. So as a result of that, there's probably gonna be, you know, less Rob Watches, less random videos. The good news is I'm not prepared to end Cartoon Clip Show just yet. You know, I already mentioned the Patreon goals and all that, so reviews for that are definitely going to still keep going. In fact, I'm actually working on the next one as we speak. So Cartoon Clip Show will still be there. I'll probably still do Rob Watches every once in a while, you know, for maybe a DC movie that comes out or something that really grabs my interest. Apparently Thundercats Roar is definitely happening this year. There'll definitely be a video on that, I assure you. But just as a disclaimer, don't be surprised if there are weeks, if not perhaps months, when I don't put a video on this channel. Now, like I said before, I do have 2 other channels that are much easier to produce and are in desperate need of some love. I do have a toy channel, so maybe check that out if you want to see some toys. I'm probably going to do some more videos on that real soon. And I have a gameplay channel that nobody's watching. I'm playing Pokemon right now. You can maybe check that out. If I can get at least one of those other 2 channels monetized, that'll help out a lot with the funding for my pilot. So there's that. I'll definitely be posting to the gameplay channel a lot more because recording the games has kind of been helping me a lot because I spend you know, all this time working either. My full-time job, and that's another thing, like I mentioned before, I have a full-time job, and that's one of the reasons why content for 2019 was kind of all over the place, because I have a very demanding full-time job where I'm on my feet all day, and every once in a while I have to work a Saturday, and that takes up a lot of time and energy, and due to that I probably can't be producing videos like I used to. But gaming has definitely helped me out. You know, I usually spend one night a week recording a bunch of stuff and putting it, just putting it online for people to hear my stupid commentary and my jokes that are kind of funny, I guess. I don't really know. I don't have enough people watching to tell me whether I'm funny or not. So maybe check that out. Yeah, the gameplay, those channels are not going to be my main focus, though. Again, the toy channel will probably be on and off, you know, whenever I get something that I find interesting or, you know, review something relevant to stuff that's been coming out. The gameplay channel, though, will be getting a lot more content because it's just easier for me, and it's helpful for me to, you know, sit down for a couple hours and just play a game and, you know, BS into a microphone, and it de-stresses me and it's helpful. So maybe check out those channels and see if you like them. But like I said, Cartoon Clip Show will still be going on. Some other videos. I have ideas for videos that I'd like to get done, but who knows if they're ever going to get done. But, you know, disclaimer, this is probably going to take up a lot of my time if it does take off. So video production is gonna go a little bit south for a while. Hopefully it won't be permanent, but yeah, that's just what's unfortunately got to happen. And I'm okay with it because this is something that I really want to do. Like I said, I am very proud of this thing that I came up with, and I want to produce it. So I'm willing to put in the hard work for it and make the sacrifices, because I'm very tired of just sitting here not doing anything, hoping to be noticed by somebody. I've really wanted to progress and evolve to, you know, that stage. You know, I review cartoons, now I want to help produce cartoons, and I've thought about that for a very long time. Like probably a good longer than I've even been making videos. I've come up with ideas and developed characters and written stuff down. Unfortunately, because I'm kind of a nobody, a lot of my ideas end up getting made by bigger, more talented people. I actually came up with a great idea, well, not really great, but a fun little superhero show idea way back in college. And then pretty much the show that I thought of got produced, and it was on Cartoon Network. It was called Generator Rex. And while it wasn't exactly the same, obviously. It was very similar, and I was kind of disheartened about that. I was even very concerned when Toy Story 4 came out, because, well, without revealing too much, I thought that the premise I came up, like the idea I had for this show was going to be done in Toy Story 4, to maybe give you a very vague idea of what I'm going for this. But thankfully that did not happen. But it's always a concern of mine. You know, I come up with stuff and I want to, you know, turn it into something. But because I'm nobody, I can't get it produced. And usually my idea gets made by somebody else without any knowledge of my own existence. So I'm willing to, you know, sacrifice and do the necessary work to make this happen. And unfortunately, I can't do that on my own, so I will be needing help with this. So like I said, if you're an artist, animator, or do anything like that, I want to hear from you. If you're anybody else and you want to support this, you know, you've already got your options. But if you can't, then, you know, feel free to circulate this video, and hopefully we'll get some ideas, and hopefully we'll get the ball rolling on this year, you know. New year, new decade, perhaps new beginnings. Hopefully. We try to be optimistic, but you know, you never know what's going to happen. So, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and again, if you're a talented person, feel free to contact me, send me what you can do, and of course send me your rates so I can compensate you properly. And here's hoping we get to make this.